I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on compound words. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, all right. So we are on aplusstudents.ca. We have chosen the subject of English Language Arts, grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of compound words. All right, so we said that our chapter is compound words. Our subject is English Language Arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of compound words, it's to form compound words and to form and use compound words. So we're going to be forming compound words and we're going to form and use compound words. Right? And a compound word, right? It is made up of two smaller words. So a compound word is made up of two smaller words, right? And it is two smaller words that can stand on its own. But once we also add that two words together, right, it creates one specific word. So we like have, for example, snow means one thing, a man means another thing. But if you put that together, like for example, snow and man, we put together, right? We join it to make one word, it will be snowman. All right, so we see that compound words, it is made up of two smaller words, right? And we made an example of, let's say, snow means one thing, man means another thing. But once we join those two words, right, we get snowman. So snow on the one side, man on the other side. But as soon as we join those two words, we add those two words, right? And then it is snowman. And if we're not going to look at and if we're not going to look at the other words, right? It says under plus water, under plus water. And if we join those two words like under plus water, then we will say it is underwater. Right? So you don't say water under, but it is under water. All right, so we have under plus water is underwater. And then the next one is tea plus pot. We have tea and we have a pot. So we say tea plus pot. If we join those two words, right? And then we can say it is a teapot. So tea, right, plus pot, it is a teapot. All right, so we can say there we have underwater and we have teapot, right? Now, if we look at the next words, we have dog plus house. So we have dog plus house, right? We need to look at those two words and we need to join it to make it one word. We have a dog and we have a house. So dog plus house, right? And dog plus house, we can say it is dog house. It's like kennel. So we just say dog house, right? It is a dog for a house. It is a house for a dog. Yes, well done. Dog house. So we have underwater, which is under plus water for underwater. Then we have teapot, which is tea plus pot is teapot. We have dog house, which is dog plus house for dog house. And that is what we call compound words. It's words that is made up of two smaller words, right? Once we join it together to create one word, we call that a compound noun. All right, so now we're going to look at this too, right? It says a door, yeah, a door and a bell. So door and bell. A door and bell. What do we call that? And then we have also eye and lid. We have eye and lid. And before we go to eye and lid, we have door and bell, right? And if we have door and bell, if we join those two words, right? And then we can say it's a door bell, right? So you need to press the doorbell, the buzzer, in order for us to respond. And then we have eye and lid. So we say door plus bell is a doorbell. And then eye and lid is eyelid. Yes, well done. But write it as one word. So write it as one word. All right, airplane can also work where we say it is air plus plane. So that can also work. So well done. Air plus plane. And we can say that that is an airplane. No, not pencil. Pencil is just one straight word. It's just a word. No, not pencil. So then we have these two words. Yes, door plus bell, a plus plane. Yes. As soon as these two words can stand on its own, like a can stand on its own, plane can stand on its own. But once we join those two words, we then get, for example, our one word, which is airplane, right? But for example, there's certain words that you don't pick up, right? So then we eye and lid is eyelid, door and bell is doorbell. Now, if we look at the specific sentence, it says a band worn on your shoulder, on your head, sorry, a band worn on your head is a what? So if a band worn on your head is a what band? A band worn on your a band worn on your head is a what band? So once again, we have a band that is worn on your head. And what do we call that? A what band? All right. So yes, that is correct. Right? If we have a band that is worn on your head, then we can say it's a head band. Right? It's your head band. It is a band that is worn on your head, which is a headband. Yes, well done. So head plus band is headband. Yes, and all yes, we can also put even shoe plus rack. I'm gonna put here shoe plus rack. Because shoe can stand on its own, right? Plus rack can also be on its own because a rack is something that is on its own. A is something specifically. Shoes is something specifically. But if we put those two words together, right, and then it is a shoe rack, which is a rack for shoes. So shoe rack is correct. Yes, well done. Milk plus shake. Yes, that is also correct because it is milk that you have that can stand on its own. Shake can also be on its own. And if we join those two words, then it is milk shake. Remember, it needs to be one word, right? One word. And that is correct. Yes. So once you add once you add or join those two words, it must be once we write that word, it must be one word. So well done. Now, the bell you ring outside a door is a door. The bell you ring outside a door is the door. The door what? So a bell that you ring outside a door. Yes, well done. It is a door bell, right? Because that is a bell that you ring outside of the door, and we call that a doorbell. And then it also says a cloth you wash with is a wash what? A cloth that you wash with is a wash what? Yes, that is also correct. Rain plus bow. Because rain can stand on its own. A bow is something that you put on your head. And this is a rainbow. Firstly, a cloth that you wash with is a wash what? Treehouse is definitely correct. Raincoat is definitely correct. School plus bus is school bus, yes. And then we can say a cloth you wash with is a wash cloth, right? And then we have sun plus light, it's sunlight. Yes, well done. And all of those words are correct. We have raincoat, which is a coat that you wear in the rain. We already said tree house. Did we say tree house? No. So yeah, we have tree plus house is a tree house. Sunlight, definitely. Sun plus light is sunlight. Right? Yes. No problem. All right. So before we go on to our test, right? These are compound words, right? And compound words, it is words that is made up from two smaller words. It's two smaller words that can stand on its own firstly, right? So individually, these two words stands on its own, right? And we make it an example of let's say rain. It is basically water that is coming from the clouds or the sky. And then we have a bow that you can wear on your head, right? Once we join those two words, right, and then it is rainbow, and then basically the word or the meaning of that word then like basically changes. So basically, all of these words that you guys have mentioned, it is correct. It is correct. All of the words that you have mentioned is correct, and they are compound words. It is words that is made up of two smaller words, and once we join that two words, it becomes one word, and we call those compound words, right? All right. So now we're going to a+students.ca, and we are going to our test. I think now for the first one, we'll go immediately and do our test because I feel like we have, or let's just quickly do this one. Let's just do this one and then we go to our test. What is a note plus book? Note plus book. Let's just do this one and then we go to our test. Note plus book. I have notes and I have books. Right, these are two words that can stand on its own. But once I join or add those two words, right, note plus book is what? What do we call that? Backpack is correct. Yes, and if we were to join these two words to make it one word, and then we can say it is notebook. Right, so note plus book is notebooks. Remember, we must write it as one word. And well done. Let's go to our test. All right, so we're going to begin our test now where we're going to form compound words. And remember, compound words are two smaller words. And once we join the two smaller words, right, and then we create one word and we call that compound words. All right, so we need to type the compound words. Drive plus way, right? So drive plus way, is it option one, which is driveway, or is it option two, which is drive? Drive plus way, is it option one, drive, or is it driveway? All right, and if we were to select our correct compound word, right, and then yes, we would say it is driveway. So well done. Driveway is correct. Yes, option one is correct. Well done, everybody. Note plus book. Is it notes or is it notebook? So notes plus book. Is it notes or is it notebook? So a note plus book, do we say it is notes, which is option one, or option two, which is notebook? All right. Yes, guys. Well done. The correct answer is notebook. So notebook is correct. Well done. A dog plus house. Dog plus house. All right, so dog plus house, is it option one, which is dogs, or option two, which is dog house? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we would say it is dog house. So well done. Dog house is correct. Then we have news plus paper. News plus paper, is it newspaper or is it just news? News plus paper, is it newspaper or just news? A light bulb is also correct. Yes, and if we were to choose the correct word, compound word, then we would say it is newspaper. So it's news plus paper, which is newspaper. All right, so we say newspaper. Then up plus stairs, up plus stairs. Do we say it's upstairs or it is ups? Option one, upstairs, or option two, ups? All right, so up plus stairs, right? The compound words up plus stairs, we would say it is upstairs, right? So well done, upstairs. And remember, when we write our compound words, it needs to be written as one word, like the example over here, upstairs. So well done. Upstairs is correct. All right, so now we're going to form and use compound words. So we're going to form and use compound words. Right? It's the same as us forming words by you guys giving me a lot of these compound words. All right. Now we're going to write form these compound words and we're going to use the compound words. All right. So now we're going to form and use compound words, right? And a compound word, we said it is made up of two smaller words, right? So compound word is made up of two smaller words, right? And we see these two smaller words, it can stand basically on its own. And once we join the two words, right, we becomes one word and then the meaning changes of that word. And we made an example of snow plus man. Snow stand on its own. Man is on its own, but once you join the two words, then we have a snowman. All right. So if you don't know the meaning of a compound word, then you can just look at two of the smaller words and then they can help you to understand the meaning. And that is why I said it is two smaller words. It stands on its own. And then once it is joined together, right, to create another word, right, the one word, and then the meaning changes. So if you don't know the meaning of the word, then you can just look at these two words that you joined in order to get that one word and try to find the meaning of that two smaller words. And we said a snowman is a man that is made up of snow. Yes, and we have a dog house, which is a dog that has a little house. All right, so now a what box is a box where your mail is placed. A what box is a box where your mail is placed. Beehive is correct. Yes, well done. So a box is a box where your mail is placed. All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, then yes, we will say a mail box is a box where we place our mail. So well done. All right, now we're going on to our test, right? Where we're going to form and use compound words. Yes, well done. Okay, so now we are going to do a test where we're going to be forming and using compound words. And it says you need to complete the compound words. It says the days of the week from Monday to Friday are week what? So the days of the week from Monday to Fridays are week what? Is it weekdays or weekday? All right, so look at the two words that is in bold, which is days and which is weeks. So the days of the week from Monday to Friday are week what? Is it weekdays or weekday? Look at the words that is in bold. It's the two words that is in bold that we need to put together to create one word. All right, so if we say that the days of the week from Monday to Friday, and we can say it is weekdays, right? Which is option one, weekdays. So well done. Weekdays is incorrect. Then a board is a whiteboard for writing on. Do we say a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on or a blackboard is a whiteboard for writing on? Do we say a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on or blackboard is a whiteboard for writing on? Yes, and if we were to choose the correct one, we will say a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on, right? So a whiteboard is then correct. So well done. Whiteboard is correct because a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on. All right, the next one. We have a shoe. A shoe is a lace that you use to tie your shoe. A shoe is a lace that you use to tie your shoes. Look at those two words in bold, which is lace plus shoe. Yes, well done. So, which means that we can say a shoelace. A shoelace, which is option one for lace. Because a shoelace is a lace that you use to tie your shoe. So, well done. Yes. Snowboard is also correct because it is snow plus board. And if you join those two words, and it is snowboard. No, not the second one. Not board, which is not BORED. The word that I think Basil is using, that word board is correct. And we can say a paper that gives you the news. If you have a paper that gives you the news, do we say that's a newspaper or newspaper? Option one or option two? All right, yes. So we can then say a newspaper, which is a paper that gives you news, and we can say that's a newspaper. So we're only going to choose news because paper is already given to us. So only news because it is a paper that gives you the news, and that is a newspaper. And now we're going into the next one. It says a yard in the back of our house. A yard in the back of our house is a what yard? Is it a option one, a backyard, or is it option two, backyard? All right, and we can say a yard in the back of the house, and we can say that is a backyard, right? Because we have our yard in front and we have the yard at the back, which is a backyard. Yes, and that is correct. Backyard is correct. And now we have a cloth you wash with. The cloth that you wash with is a what? What do we call a cloth that you wash with? A cloth that you wash with is a wash what? So a cloth you wash with is a wash what? All right, and a cloth that you wash with, we say that's a washcloth, right? So yes, well done. A washcloth. It's a cloth that you can wash with. right. And if we were to complete the compound words, we can say, after you walk up the stairs, you are up. Do we say we are upstairs or do we say we are upstairs? Which one is correct? Option one, upstairs, or option two, upstairs? And if we complete the compound word, and it says after you walk up the stairs, you are upstairs. And stairs is correct. All right, let's do one more. It says the room or a room with a bed is your bed what? A room with a bed is a bed what? Do we say bedroom or bedrooms? Bedroom or bedrooms? And a room with a bed, we can say it is a bedroom. Right? It's your bedroom, your room with your bed on. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on compound words. We had to form compound words by using two of our different words that can stand on its own, right? And then we create a new word, right? Which is one word that you create based on the two words that is given. And we made an example of spider plus man. We made an example of back plus pack, sun plus light, and there was quite a few that we made examples of. And then we also had to form and use these words, right? Where sentences were given and you had to basically find what the compound word is, right? All right, so this is now the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade twos, for joining our class on compound words. And compound words are two separate words that can stand on its own, right? So you join the two words, right? You join the two words, and then we basically get what that one specific word of what it means. All right. So you should have a good evening further. Goodbye.